May I recognize the presence of the Emir of Kano, Dr. Sanusi Lamida Sanusi the second, Muhammad Sanusi the second, also may I presence of the His Royal Highness Sanusi the second. I would also like to Dr. Minister of State for Education, the person of Professor Sobra Zayama. May I also recognize the next lecturer, the guest competition lecturer, the person of Professor Abakar Al Rashid, the former Executive Secretary National Universities Commission. Also, we the Vice Chancellor, Northwest University, Professor Muftara Tukurawa. May I recognize the Chancellor, the Emir of Latin Bari, Justice C. Muhammad Baghi, you are welcome, sir. JSE, you are welcome, sir. The Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council, Northwest University, Kano, Professor Hafiz Abakar, you are welcome, sir. We also recognize the presence of the Emir of Nasarawa. You are welcome, sir. The Vice Chancellor, President, all of them, will be calling their names as they come. The former Chairman of the South Council of this prestigious university, former Vice Chancellor, Bayara Sikano, Professor Muhammad Muzagano, you are welcome, sir. The former DC, Vice Chancellor, Northwest University, Kano, Professor Mustafa Ahmad Isa, you are welcome.
Why is connected?
Professor Ali Rahman Rashid, Representative Vice Chancellor, American University. Also we have Dr. Mashur Muhammad Baghi, former Provost,
life ne.
Also we have us, Professor Sigir Adama Abbas, the Vice Chancellor, Bayero University, Kano. We also have Professor Muhammad Ibrahim Yakasi, Vice Chancellor, Sulaiman University, Kano. Former Executive Secretary, MBTE, Dr. Masoud Kazori, we also recognize Barrister Ridwan Salman, representing Professor Chuma in BG Nigerian Law School. At this juncture, we invite the Chief Imam of Northwest University to come forward and give us an opening prayer.
In case of emergency, we will need you.
This start is not. It's live.
It's live now.
Live.
Live. You can check us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just log on to Twitter.
Zagi sai na zai guda. Sai kun yi hankali. Kun kuda kani kun shi zai kawai normal kawai wani kan
His Excellency the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Yusuf, and the director of the chairman of the PG, we are starting the preparatory part of the occasion, inshallah.
Ai, nuna yana da haske. Na nuna tilawar tilabar tilabar. Amma yana ya ɗan so. Wannan sai ɗan zuba. Abba, bari ya tila za ka kunna. Malam.
Ga wancan yana bayarwa. Da yawa ku.
An taɓa mana ba ka gane ba. Abubakar ne Abubakar shi ne Abubakar na magana na magana mu ma ya zo ya zai tabe mana shi ya isa bai ya kawo ya
ba damuwa.
Thank you very much, the Chief Imam of the University. Mr. Chairpersons, Ma, the Honorable Minister of Education of the State, permit me to invite to call for the to invite to call for the national anthem to the members of this presidential. Okay, we can skip the University anthem. Thank you very much. Chairperson of the may I invite the registrar, Northwest University, Kano, person of Administrator Isiapa Ademu, to come forward to announce the convocation lecture and to invite to announce our convocation lecture.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Permit me, the chairperson of the occasion, Honorable Minister of State for Education, Professor Suelba, Your Highness, the Area of Town, Madam Dr. Muhammad Khalifa, Your Highness, Your Highness is here. Permit me to singularly also recognize His Highness, the Emir of Latvia, JSC retired, Honorable Sayyid Muhammad, the Chancellor of Northwest University of the Highness. Permit me to recognize all the Royal Highnesses, the Chairman of the Council, His Excellency, Professor Hafiz Abubakar MFR, BSc, Professor Mukhtar Atiku Kurawa, the DC of Northwest University Campus. Because of time, distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, I humbly stand before this esteemed guest to recognize and observe due and respectfully all the protocols that have been mentioned at the convocation lecture for the second convocation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, an earlier scholar, a professor of analytical chemistry, a person whose career started as graduate assistant at Bayero University, Kano. He rose through the ranks. He didn't run. He was so patient like a vulture, up to the position of rector of Kano 5 years ago. The Vice Chancellor, Implement Vice Chancellor,
Education, Your Highness, the Emir of Kano. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, as you are all aware, we are seriously pressed for time. I want to spread the indulgence and act of forgiveness to those who have not their information, who have comments, so powers and address, under the congregation that shall also provide congregation of this very university. Ladies and gentlemen, as simple as my tax appears to me, it is a very animal stuff. But when you invite a professor of English, somebody who has been vice chancellor of our university, and then executive secretary of the National University Commission, who voluntarily resigned to go back to the classroom. Then you have to be very careful. A lot of errors to be cited. That's why I am asking the guest lecturer to excuse my grammatical and political errors that I may commit during my presentation. I also want you to know when thinking of my helpful here to honor the presence of our Chancellor, who came all the way from Latvia, the Emir of Kano, and to be here on the given of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly give you a brief welcome address that I prepared. I want to most sincerely welcome our Chancellor, Honorable Justice Speaker Dr. Sri Mohammed Badi first, my bencher, the Emir of Latvia, and the Chairman of the Council of Chiefs, Kano, and the founder. Also want to welcome the guest lecturer, Professor Dr. Abu Rashid, who is also a naturalized phenomenon. I also want to most humbly and respectfully welcome the Chancellor of the Council, Professor Abu Bakr, whose appointment as the Chancellor of Education made my life much easier and the discharge of my responsibilities much simpler and straightforward. I also want to welcome the University Council members of Education. It is an honor to welcome members of the University Senate to the Convocation Lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm making you inform you that the University has already come up with Convocation during its 13 years of existence. Such 5 sets of graduates starting from the session of academic session 2029 will be conducted here and marked with a celebration of excellence, resilience, and institutional growth. This year's convocation ceremony is extra special, most especially to me, because it will be my first and last convocation of Vice Chancellor of the University. It is equally unique because it involves the investiture and installation of our new Chancellor, Honorable Justice Sri Mohammed Badi,
Justice and Supreme Court declared, who answer the call of the people to declare on his position, Supreme Court position was taken up earlier and answer the call of the people. In addition, the chairperson of the convocation lecture, Professor Koeba bin Ahmed, is a rare member of the local university who immensely contributed to the development of the university after the time of abolishment and the following infrastructure for education. She is a distinguished engineering specialist, a researcher, and an advocate for girls' higher education. Last but not the least, I want to welcome the guest president, Professor MLI, who will not the competition lecture with the lecture presenter, which is a mentor and a guide to many of us are earlier. He is a role model and a motivator. How we all aspect achieve even 10% of achievement. My close relations with him started when I was heritage department at the University of Kano, and he was the vice chancellor of Belgrade Institution. Professor Abubakar Al-Rashid was named subject of modern beauty by many of his students and staff. On this event, Professor Abubakar Al-Rashid allowed me unrestricted access to his wealth of experience from the very first time we met up to this very moment. Earlier this week, Professor Rashid honored this institution by inviting me to travel with him to a day in Osun State, where he and the principal of Osun State received honorary degrees of letters and science, respectively, from the prestigious Vedic University of Osun State. Professor Rashid is the definition of humility and academic excellence that will be mentioned in his presentation in the short form. Honorable Minister of Education, Royal Highness, distinguished personalities, allow me to inform you that Northern University in Kano have grown into a center of learning much faster than its 13 years of existence. In summary, the university has 9 faculties, it offers 14 undergraduate programs, while we await approval from the National University Commission for the commencement of additional programs in nursing, medical science, physiotherapy, radiography, pharmacology, human nutrition dietetics, and also a PhD in public administration. Furthermore, the Senate of the University considered and approved submissions from the Academic Development Committee for the establishment of new programs in the Faculty of Science, as well as the establishment of Faculty of Communication and Media Studies. On the other hand, the School of Graduate Studies, which was established just 2 sessions ago, offers 46 graduate programs. Different fields. We are awaiting approval for the commencement of 3 additional programs, BEd, MSc, PhD programs in biochemistry. In December 2024, Lagos University, after the distinguished membership of the Oklahoma University Network, which is an affiliate of the Oxford University Academy for Education and Development, cited at Oxford University in the United Kingdom, and the membership certificate was confirmed upon our Pro-Chancellor, Professor Abdul Bakar, and myself at the 8th Grade School University of Oxford. This year, the license was extended for another 1 year, based on this confirming the position of Knowledge University in the Ogonia Network, which was initiated and chaired by Professor Abubakar Abdulrashid. Eminent personalities, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that the short topic for this lecture was carefully designed to provide an overview of the trends of education in northern Nigeria and with insecurity and find the way forward. I'm very confident that the guest lecturer will do justice to the paper and will certainly contribute to knowledge. We are also blessed to have chairperson of the education, who is an educationist and who has been leading, but shortly we are sure to add value to this profession. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, the presence of the deputy governor, who doubles as the commissioner for higher education, is an added advantage because it is my firm belief that foreign praise by the guest lecturer will be closely looked into and action plans developed for immediate implementation. May I inform this gathering that since the shuffling of the Legislative Council members by the federal state government, which brought in His Excellency the Deputy Governor and the Commissioner for Education, new life, vigor, and energy have been injected into the tertiary education sector. Head of tertiary education in Kano are treated with the respect they deserve, and thus we are all working on the block to take the sector to the next level. While I welcome you once again to the Population Lecture, I wish you happy destiny and journeyman back to your respective destination. You are all welcome to the Baraka Islam and the new word, back I learned on my journey a day to Professor Abubakar Rashid. I think Air Cargo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Vice Chancellor, Kano, Professor Mukhtar Kurawa. May I also welcome His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, the Ambassador of Baskia, Comrade Amelia Salam. We are all concerned. Let me also use this opportunity to Professor Sheldon Guest, Vice Chancellor, United Opus. Also Professor Abdul Sheldon, Vice Chancellor, Khalifa Isiaka University, Kano. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture I would like to invite Dr. Iman Warsharuna, one of the University orators, to introduce the chairperson of the occasion, Professor Suwaiba Sayyid Aham. Dr. Iman, you are welcome.
I feel honored as an obstetrician to read the citation of an exemplary woman who has stood for the girl child education in Nigeria. This is the first of Professor Suwaiba Ahmed, who is the Honorable Minister of State for Education. Professor Suwaiba Ahmed is the current Minister of State for Education in the Federal Ministry of Education, Federal Republic of Nigeria. She holds one of the most exalted positions in the educational hierarchy in Nigeria. She is a distinguished educationist, a full professor, a noted researcher and an advocate for girl child education in Nigeria. She hails from Abuela local government of Jigawa State, was born on 13 February 1981 and was raised in Kano. She achieved her primary and secondary school education at Bayero University, Istanbul, where she progressed to achieve her higher education in the same institution. She acquired a Bachelor of Science Education in 2003 and then progressed to her master's degree in curriculum studies in 2009. She also progressed to achieve a PhD in 2014 in science education at Ahmedabad University, Zaria. Professor Suwaiba Ahmed began her teaching career as a graduate assistant at Zaria University, Kano in 2014 and steadily advanced through the ranks of professorship. She, with over 19 years of academic and professional experience, she has established herself as an authority in science education, girl child education, and curriculum studies. A scholarly contribution to several publications in addition to her academic role. Professor Ahmed held many important administrative positions, including the provost of Jigawa State College of Education, the director of Center for Gender Studies, Bayero University, Kano. She is a distinguished consultant who is collaborating and has conducted many researches with prominent national and international organizations. Professor Ahmed's commitment to education and gender equity has earned her recognition as a leading figure in the educational sector in the country. In November 12, 2024, she was appointed as Nigerian Minister of Education, and that is a testament to her outstanding contributions towards improving educational standards and the promotion of inclusive quality education in Nigeria. Through her work, Professor Ahmed continues to be the champion the advancement of transformative education and equitable opportunities, particularly for the girl, child, and woman in Nigeria. It gives me great pleasure to present to you this distinguished woman of substance, the Honorable Minister of State for Education, Honorable Professor Suwaiba Saeed Ahmed, Minister of State for Education, Federal Minister of Education, Federal Republic of Nigeria. The orator, thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Though I pray that you all forgot, you forget the date of birth. I don't like that. I try to nobody knows my date of birth. I don't know where you got that. So I pray that everybody by the end of today, forget that. Permit me to recognize His Excellency, the Deputy Governor and Honorable Commissioner for Higher Education, the Speaker, Kano State House of Assembly, and our royal fathers, the Emir of Kano, who he left just a moment ago, the Emir of Lafia, the Emir of Nasarawa. You are all welcome to this great occasion. And of course, permit me to also recognize our host, the Vice Chancellor, Northwest University, Professor Mukhtar Kurawa. Professor Mukhtar was my lecturer as a student in Bayero University, Kano. He taught me chemistry. Let me give you a short story, a very short one. As a level 2 student, we had his lecture. myself and a friend of mine, I always remember this. I don't know whether he still has that memory. During the lecture, the topic of discussion was actually laughing gas. I don't know what happened. Up to today, I cannot explain what happened. But it's like we have actually inhaled the laughing gas. The two of us could not stop laughing, literally. He cautioned us, but we are still laughing under the desk. He got tired and he sent us out of the class. Mind you, I was always a dedicated student, very dutiful, very obedient. I don't know what happened. We went outside by the window because I still want to listen to the lecture, but I was still laughing at the window. So he had to come out of the class and drive us away from the class. When we settled down and finally stopped laughing, I decided I need to go out of the class. The two of us went to his office, we knocked. He was very angry, but then he allowed us to come. And he said we should explain ourselves, but of course we don't have to explain. Because as I said, it's like we have actually inhaled the laughing gas. He was so stunned, he gave a series of advice, which I say thank you for that advice, because the advice he gave us actually was one of the key factors that forced me to be given more dedicated than I was as a student. So thank you for that. Visiting vice chancellors and registrars, there are so many of them. Permit me to single out my VC, the vice chancellor of Bayero University, Kano, and also a mentor. We are from the same department, Professor Sayer Adawa Abbas, and another mentor, Professor Abdurrashid Gamba, the VC of Khalifa Isiaka University. He was the one that actually employed me as a graduate assistant in Bayero University. And the VC of Senegal University, Professor Yakase, is also a lecturer of mine. Today's occasion, I have so many teachers here. I have so many mentors. I will spend an hour without finishing recognizing all my mentors and all my teachers. Permit me to recognize them as a group. I thank you all because you showed who Suwaiba Sani Ahmed is to me. I thank you for that. All the principal officers of the university, members of the university senate and community, this is my home. It's my second home. I started as a visiting lecturer in this university right from the inception of Northwest University. I worked with Northwest University as a visiting lecturer up to the time of my appointment as a state minister of education. So it's a second home to me, and definitely I have to be part and parcel of it. Permit me also to recognize my father, an iconic leader, a seasoned academician. I know you know where I'm going with this introduction. And of course, amiable Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid. He is our guest lecturer, and I'm sure, I don't think there is a single person in this room that doesn't know Professor Abubakar Rashid. But in case you don't know him, at the end of this lecture, I'm sure you will appreciate him. And I'm sure the lecture will have a lasting effect on whoever you are. So thank you, sir, because today for me, when I was asked to chair this session, I didn't know he's the one to be the guest lecturer. I would have said no, allow me to be a spectator. Because he's my father, he is the one that shaped all what we become, all of us in the university, and lot of us look up to him. He is our father, after all. And apart from that, he's something, as I mentioned, he's iconic. He's seasoned. He's somebody that you can easily talk to. So how will I share a session that is presenting the paper? It's just that, as I mentioned, Northwest is the second home to me, and I cannot say no to Northwest. Otherwise, I would have said no. I will attend, but as a participant. Members of the University Senate and Community, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, good afternoon, it's even evening, so good evening all.
It gives me great pleasure and deep sense of responsibility to stand before you today and be chairperson of this all-important free convocation lecture. Forming part of the activities marking the second combined convocation ceremony of Northwest University Kano, I want to begin by congratulating the leadership of this young but promising institution, particularly the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mukhtar Atiku Kurawa, for his bold vision, firm commitment, and remarkable progress recorded under his stewardship. I also extend my heartfelt congratulations to the graduating students of 5 academic sessions, from 2018-2019 session up to 2023-2024 session. This is indeed an momentous milestone worth celebrating. As we gather here today under the compelling theme, rethinking education in the face of insecurity, a roadmap for reviving learning and development in northern Nigeria, we are reminded that convocation ceremonies are not only for celebration, but also for sober reflection on the state of education and the future we are collectively building. This topic is timely, pertinent, and deeply urgent, especially for those of us who live, teach, and live in northern Nigeria. This is why the convocation lecture is not just another academic event, it is a call for action. The federal government, through the Safe School Initiative and in collaboration with state governments, is already working to fortify learning environment with fences, security personnel, surveillance, and emergency response plan in order to ensure that every child has access to quality education. Leverage technology for distance learning. Of course, when physical spaces are on the thread, we must harness digital tools. Radios, television, mobile devices, and online platforms to ensure that learning continues. Strengthen community involvement. Local communities must be engaged as co-guardians of education. Traditional leaders, religious institutions, and local vigilante groups can be sensitized to support and secure neighborhood schools. Reform curriculum with context in mind. Education must address unique challenges our children face. We must infuse peace education, conflict resolution, civic responsibility, and psychosocial support into our classroom. Support teachers as frontline workers, just like health workers during pandemic. Our teachers really, the crisis-affected areas, are heroes. They need incentive, training, psychological support to remain motivated and safe. Improve security, of course, under the leadership of the National Security Advisor. The federal government has been providing support in the schools riddled with insecurity, where normalcy is returning in most of these areas. We can categorically say that most part of Katsina State and some part of Zamfara and Maiduguri have been salvaged from these menaces. Ladies and gentlemen, reviving learning in northern Nigeria is not a one-institution task. It is not solely the responsibility of the federal government. It is a collective national assignment. We must involve state governments, development partners, religious and cultural leaders, and the private sectors. Philanthropic foundation, non-governmental organizations, alumni association, and even parents.
Columbia Business School in New York, the Council of Education Accreditation in Washington, D.C., the Sahel University of Oxford, and the Cambridge University Business School. His career began in July 1981 when he was a graduate assistant in the Department of English and European Languages at the Bayero University. And within 10 years, he rose to become a senior lecturer
became the editor of New Nigerian on Sunday, and shortly after, the substantive editor of New Nigerian Newspaper Limited. The position he held until 1995, executive of New Nigerian Newspaper. As managing editor of in April 19 newspaper, he withdrew his services from the company. Upon his return, he was reappointed the head of the Department of English and French and was promoted to the rank of Professor of English in October 2001. He went on to serve as the Dean, Faculty of Arts and Islamic Studies, then Executive Chairman, University Consultancy Services Board. From 2010 to 2015, he served the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics and finally the Vice Chancellor of the university, while he was holding the position of Sonia University Network with headquarters at Oxford in England. In addition, he also served for 5 years as a member of executive committee in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. As the Vice Chancellor of Bayero University, he served as Vice Chancellor and Association of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian University. In the course of his university career, Professor Rashid was also prolific writer. He has written many books and has published numerous articles in peer-reviewed journals in the broad fields of statistics, systemic grammar, and discourse analysis. During his tenure in the National Universities Commission to the Implementation of Public Universities Secretary of NUC Fund, as well as the governing of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAM). He also served as the National Coordinator of the Project Steering Committee of the World Bank, where he supported the African Centers of Excellence in the selected universities. He is privileged to co-chair the initiative of Nigeria's version of the Triple and Industry in Nigeria. Professor Abubakar Abdul-Rashid of the Federal Republic, MFR, Fellow of the National Institute of Public Relations, Fellow of the English Studies Association of Nigeria, Fellow of the Linguistic Association of Nigeria, Fellow of the Nigeria Labour Foundation. As an outstanding scholar, Professor Rashid had the opportunity to deliver several convocation lectures, and those he presented include the 2016 Mountain University Convocation Lecture, the 2017 Nigerian Defense Academy Convocation Lecture, the 2018 Lagos State University Convocation Lecture, the 2019 Bayero University Convocation Lecture, the 2021 Alex Kwame Convocation Lecture, the 2021 Palmer University Convocation Lecture, and the Ahmadu Bello University 2019. He also delivered the first Founders Day lecture at the Ondo Medical University in 2017. The keynote address at the 2018 QAA Annual Congress in Cardiff, United Kingdom, as well as the lead paper at the 2018 Seminar of the National Institute for Security Studies in Warri, Abuja. Professor Rashid is married and is blessed with children.